The General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money, published in 1936, is a book that redefined how we understand recessions, unemployment, and the role of government in the economy. In this video, I'll walk you through what Keynes actually argued, why it was groundbreaking, and where it still sparks debate. Before Keynes, economists largely believed in self-correcting markets. If unemployment rose, it meant wages were too high, and if prices or wages fell, the economy would bounce back on its own. Keynes rejected that. Looking at the Great Depression, he argued that economies can get stuck in a state of high unemployment, where people want to work, but there's just not enough demand to justify hiring them. Keynes broke total demand into two parts: consumption and investment. People spend part of their income, but they also save, and savings don't automatically turn into investment. Investment depends on business expectations and what Keynes called the marginal efficiency of capital. Basically, how profitable firms expect future projects to be. But when expectations are low, businesses don't invest. That's where government spending comes in. By increasing demand, it can kickstart hiring and output. And thanks to the multiplier effect, a small increase in spending can lead to a much larger boost in income. Keynes also rethought interest rates. Instead of just being set by supply and demand for savings, he introduced liquidity preference, the idea that people demand money for safety, especially when they're uncertain about the future. In a crisis, everyone wants to hold cash, not invest. Even if central banks cut rates, it may not work, a situation he called a liquidity trap. Sound familiar? It's what many economists said was happening after 2008. Classical economists said if wages fell far enough, everyone would eventually get a job. Keynes called this out as unrealistic. Lower wages can actually reduce total spending, making unemployment worse. He argued that workers can be involuntarily unemployed, willing to work at the going wage but unable to find jobs because firms aren't hiring. The solution isn't wage cuts, it's more demand. Keynes's ideas shaped decades of policy, but the book isn't without flaws. It's not easy to read, the writing is dense and sometimes vague. It underplays inflation and supply constraints. Later events, like 1970s stagflation, didn't fit Keynes's model. It assumes government will act wisely, but in practice, politics often gets in the way. Keynes recommended stimulus in bad times and restraint in good times. Most governments only remembered the first part. Still, the core insight, that private markets can fall short and that demand matters, remains central to how we handle economic crises today. The General Theory is not an easy book, but its message is clear. Left alone, the economy doesn't always heal itself. Sometimes, public action is needed to restart growth. So here's a question for you. Do you think governments today are using Keynes's ideas wisely or misusing them? Let me know in the comments.